Fans won't be able to see the smiley German Sebastian Vettel on Formula 1 track as a driver ever again. The 35 years old took the decision to retire from Formula 1 just after the end of the first half of the season, declaring that the 2022 season will be his last one on track. This news made a lot of comments around, as the Red Bull Formula driver was a very popular personality in Formula 1 and had plenty of fans along the years he passed practicing this sport. So what do Formula 1 drivers think about Sebastian Vettel's retirement decision? Keep on watching to know. If you're not already a member of Formula Zoom family, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. You'll be receiving the newest Formula 1 news and updates. If you are new to Formula 1, check our channel video package. All what you need to know is available there. So Sebastian Vettel announced on Thursday ahead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, the 13th round of the season and the last race before the August break, his retirement from the Formula 1 by the end of the 2022 by the following speech. I hereby announce my retirement from Formula 1 by the end of the 2022 season. Vettel couldn't hide his deep love of this sport and that for a long time, Formula 1 was the center of his whole life, so he has to give some of his time for his life off track. Talking about his family, his wife, childhood friend, and his 3 children. I love this sport. It has been central to my life since I can remember, but as much as there is life on track, there is my life off track too. Being a racing driver has never been my sole identity. Next to racing, I have grown a family, and I love being around them. I have grown other interests outside Formula 1. Vettel added that he now feels that he must devote more time for his children, raising them and being all the time around them, listening and helping them to grow the right way. My goals have shifted from winning races and fighting for championship to seeing my children grow, passing on my values, helping them when they fall, listening to them when they need me, not having to say goodbye, and most importantly, being able to learn from them and let them inspire me. Sebastian Vettel, who competes for Aston Martin during his last season in Formula 1, he started his career at a very early age, doing karting at the age of 3, won kart series at the age of 8 in 1995. 3 years later, Vettel applied for the Red Bull Junior team and he was accepted, starting a very successful mini-career as a junior champion. The German driver won multiple titles. He was the Junior Monaco Kart Cup in 2001, was promoted to open wheel cars 2 years later before winning the 2004 Formula 1 BMW Championship with 18 victories from 20 races. Having an amazing junior career, Vettel started his Formula 1 journey after being called up permanently by the BMW Formula 1 team to become the 3rd driver at the 2006 Turkish Grand Prix, where he could set the fastest time in second Friday on his testing, to become the youngest Formula 1 driver to participate in a Grand Prix weekend at 19 years and 53 days. During the 2006 Italian Grand Prix, Vettel set the fastest time in both Friday practice session, and that was his second testing session. Following this result, the BMW confirmed Sebastian Vettel as their test driver for 2007 season. Soon the younger driver had his chance. During the 2007 United States Grand Prix. He was called to replace Kubica after his crash at the Canadian Grand Prix. Vettel managed to start in 7th position and finish in 8th to become then the youngest driver to score a point in Formula 1. The following season, the German driver moved to Red Bull Scuderia Toro Rosso. Young driver was named 2008 Rookie of the Year at the Autosports Award. However, many have been predicting that he will be a Formula 1 champion one day. Toro Rosso team boss Gerhard Berger said about him, as he proved today, he can win races, but he's going to win World Championship. He's a cool guy. Vettel was promoted to Red Bull during 2009 season, where he could win for consecutive titles from 2010 to 2013. Winning the 2010's title, Vettel became the Formula 1 youngest world champion. The German young talent at that time could achieve many records for the most consecutive race win and race wins in a single season. In 2015, he signed for Ferrari to become Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes driver closest challenger for the 2017 and 2018 season. However, he only finished as runner-up in both seasons. Vettel left Ferrari to race with Aston Martin for 21 and 22 seasons, before announcing his retirement from Formula 1 at the end of the current season. The sport and fans will absolutely miss a very popular driver. Many a Formula 1 driver expressed their opinion about Vettel's decision. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, who Sebastian Vettel was his rival during 2 seasons, talked about the German's retirement, saying that Vettel's presence on track had always made Hamilton don't feel lonely. The Brighton added that predicted Vettel's decision and it made him sad. In fact, yes, 100%. I kind of knew it was coming because there were hints, but the implementation is another thing. It saddens me. Of course, first of all, that he's quitting. When I talk about the journey I've had in the sport, which I've often found to be relatively lonely, I would say he's one of the few people who made sure I didn't feel lonely. He stood by me through a lot of things. Hamilton carried on saying during an interview quoted by motorsporttotal.com that he concluded since the first press conference that gathered the 2 drivers that Sebastian Vettel will be a brave driver in Formula 1. Later, he considered him as one of the greatest people in the sport, describing him as an ally with the sport. I remember the press conference at Manicure in 2007 and how he was very open during the driver's briefing. I know that he could be a strong personality in the sport. He put others before himself and was so brave to speak his mind and stand for what he believes in. We talk about legends in our sport. I don't really like that title, to be honest, but I think he's one of the greatest people we have seen in the sport and we need more like him. Hamilton finished saying that he's sure that a great person like Sebastian Vettel would get to do some great things outside the sport, hoping their friendship won't have an end by Vettel's retirement. I know he will do great things outside the sport, and I hope we will always be friends. I hope we can do other things together outside of racing. He was the one who really stepped into the uncomfortable light and tried to do something with the platform that we have, and I think that's, to me, is why he's so different from all the other drivers that have been there then and now. Guys, if you're enjoying today's video, leave us a like down below. Consider subscribing if you find our channel videos informative. Fernando Alonso, the Spanish racing driver who will probably be replacing Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time Formula 1 champion in Aston Martin next season, according to many reports. Alonso won racing for Ferrari and lost against Vettel for Red Bull in 2 occasions, the Formula 1 World Championship for the 2010 and the 2012 seasons. Commented on his retirement decision, saying that Vettel is a great person before being a legendary driver and that he will be missing him and missing fights on track against him. 4 titles, and not only a legend as a driver, as a human being. He has very strong values and a very correct way of thinking. We will miss him. I will miss the battles on track. The Spanish driver said that with Lewis Hamilton and Vettel, they have been on all trial racing with young talents and they are already missing one of them. Our careers were very close together, always. Together with Lewis, we missed one of the 3, but family and other things are probably in this decision. So I wish him the best and a lot of happiness.
With the 2021 World Champion Max Verstappen, that's going to add up to already, really cool.
Of the sport, besides being a hard worker as a driver, is a great ambassador for the sport and has achieved so much. He worked hard for that. On the other side, Ferrari's driver Carlos Sainz described Vettel as a role model and very popular driver that you won't be hearing any bad comments about him around. Sainz hopes Vettel will quit the track as a player, but never quit the whole Formula 1 world as a sport personality, contributing in some activities. He's a great role model and an ambassador for the sport, but also the younger generation coming through. Everyone in the paddock loves him. You will not hear someone speaking bad about Sebastian, and this speaks to his personality and his life as a human being. We will miss him, but I hope we will see him again in the paddock, helping in some of the areas he has been very vocal about recently. Talking about the real reasons behind his decision, Sebastian Vettel said that he wants to spend more time with his family, and that's what he'll be doing next year, all with his concern for the environment, which he finds the biggest challenge waiting for humanity in the near future. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't like that, but the climate crisis is part of all our futures. Nobody is able to run away from it. We all have to face it, and it will face us all. It's also one of the bigger aspects that have led to the decision, the changing world, and there are aspects of the job today. Flying around the world, burning fuel that don't feel right. Once you see the whole picture, it's hard to unsee. It's the biggest challenge waiting for all of us. Guys, tell us as a Formula 1 fan, what is your opinion about Sebastian Vettel's retirement decision? Mention in the comment section if Vettel was your favorite Formula 1 driver and why. What do you think about rumors talking about Fernando Alonso replacing Vettel for the next season? That was all for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.